Right. What's going on, man?
Hello. I think it would only be right before we get into the fun stuff, because we are, man, this has just been the world is just not a fun place right now, and I think it's only right that before we start having some fun, we just give a shout to the soldiers who lost their lives on Friday in a training accident. Um, you know, I hope. God or vibes or whatever the hell you believe in. I hope all of the goodness is going to them and their families and their loved ones. Um, it's a terrible way to start off. It's a terrible thing that happened no matter what, but especially Veterans Day weekend of all times. So just wanted to give them a shout and we'll start that way. Um, do you have anything you wanted to add to that or?
No, well said. No, it's a shame. And yeah, just awful timing. Just not good.
Yeah.
So
So that said, we want to kind of take a break from all. Not that we're ever overly serious or anything like that, um, but wanted to take some time and just. I was hoping Richie would be on so we could have this be a little bit more spread out and get some more comedy out of it. But came up with a list of questions that are just stupid, just to see what kind of conversation it could spark, and just completely nonsense, just nothing serious at all.
yeah,
Just
this could be like our first, almost first AMA. How about that? I mean,
yep.
we've kind of gone down this road before with different topics and stuff. Hey, the old desert island episodes we did and those things. But yeah,
So all right, I'm gonna start off, and here we go. So I'm gonna start with an easy one. Okay,
all right.
are hot dogs a sandwich?
Oh man, no,
Okay,
no, it's
good
not two
answer.
slices of bread.
Good answer. Okay, well, would you consider what you get the hoagies that you get at Wawa on a hoagie roll? Would you call that a sandwich?
No, because it's a hoagie.
Okay, fair enough. All right, all right, good. So we're on the same page on that. I still call it a sandwich, but not a hot dog. A hot dog is a hot dog.
Yeah,
It's like a
now
cheeseburger is
here's
a cheeseburger. It's not a
right.
cheeseburger sandwich.
It's like a two-piece thing there. You gotta
Right,
separated.
right,
And I don't want to go with those crappy hot dog rolls that split apart. It's still a hot dog.
right, right. So, all right. Here's another one for you. Is cereal soup?
No, what kind of question is that?
Dude, I listen. I have had
Did you
people
find this
try to.
stuff?
I've had people try to argue that with me, and try to say, yeah, cereal's a soup
Well,
because it looks like it. No, no, it's milk. What else do you put milk in, and then eat stuff out? No, cereal is cereal. It is a food that you pour milk on. It is not a soup.
I really wish I would have known Richie's answer. I feel like this could have been a good one.
I feel like this would, dude. Honestly, that's what I'm saying. I feel like there would be some dissension here. Um, so, all right. How many holes does a straw have?
Ooh, that's a good one. That's like a mind, like time and space type question.
So initially, I said two. I said one at either end. But then
No, it's just
then it
one
was
long hole.
exactly. That's
Yeah,
how they explained it to me. A donut. Does a donut have two holes or does it have one?
yeah.
Donut only has one. Well, extend a donut. It's a straw.
It's a mathematical question because it's a cylinder. So I mean,
Yeah,
it has
with one
yeah,
hole. Okay,
yeah.
good. All right.
That one, yeah, I got that one. I won't
Okay.
get the next one though.
All right. Dr. Pepper or Mr. Pibb?
Dr. Pepper all day long. However, I will say this: I like all those kinds of soda. So like, I even enjoy the off brands as much as we've dogged them on here. So like the Dr. Thunder or the whatever else. I know Kroger has their own. I'm sure Publix has their own.
I don't like Publix's.
No, really,
No, it has a weird ass aftertaste.
really.
Yeah.
Okay, so and I will also say this. I actually, and I think part of it's like with the beer thing. I don't mind most sodas at all, except diet. Like diet, anything I just can't do. So
Right.
anything else I'm good with. So like Pib tends to be like this more frequently down south anyway,
Yeah.
and it's still okay, but I prefer Dr Pepper.
See,
You know,
now here's my thing. So Pib, every time I've had it out of a fountain, it's okay. But there was a point where I think it was on sale for like cheaper or whatever. So I got like a 6-pack of Mr. Pibb bottles. It wasn't as good.
really.
Yeah. I was like, dude, this is gross. I don't want to drink this anymore. So I am fully 100% on the Dr. Pepper train.
Yeah, yeah. No, I've always liked that more, but like I have no problem. You know what I mean? And part of that's too because this, man, soda itself has gotten so freaking expensive
Yeah. Yeah.
that sometimes you got to resort to the. I mean,
Yeah. No, you're right. So, all right, let's play this scene, but let's extrapolate a little bit. Pepsi or Coke?
no Coke, 100%.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right. Good. We're on the same, dude. Because Pepsi to me, like again, Pepsi, I'll drink if there's no way that I can get Coke.
right.
But I just,
It's a little too sweet.
yeah,
That's the difference. And here's the thing: Danielle's always said this, and I think she's right. There's nothing quite like a fountain Coca-Cola from McDonald's
you know why?
because they fill it with crack.
Well, that too. So Coca-Cola signed an exclusive contract with McDonald's. They get a special like recipe of it to account for the ice melting and everything. So their
Ah,
Coke does actually taste different because it's formulated different.
that, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense. No, that's one thing too. And I just sat here and said, "Oh yeah, knockoffs are good." The regular colas, I'm sure, are okay, and I think I've had my fair share of RC over the years, and I mean, gosh, the Sam's or whatever the Walmart brand is, and
Yeah.
then the Kroger one I may have had a time or two. I typically, if I have that stuff, I've got to go for like, especially the non name, I've got to go for like a flavor. So like cherry,
Yeah.
just to kind of compensate for it not being actual Coke.
Well, so Acme used to do Max Cola.
Max Cola.
And
Why do I remember that?
because that was there, because that was all it was in my fridge for a while. Because I was like, oh, why am I gonna pay for Coke when I can get Max Cola from Acme for like 25 cents for a 12-pack? Like so all I had in my fridge for a while was just Max Cola.
Oh yeah, I do remember that. Yeah, because the can did look like a Coke
Yeah,
can.
it looks like a Coke can.
Yeah.
So that's what I had in there.
Okay, so now I do have a question though.
Yeah.
So now on the Coca-Cola side though, and just thinking of Coca-Cola, obviously take a regular Coke out of the equation, and I think we can agree that the diet stuff is a whole other
Yeah.
entity within of itself.
Blech.
Any of the flavor stuff, over the years that you like, the vanilla, the cherry, or the cherry vanilla, or the different stuff they've tried over the years.
So I used to love cherry, and then I just didn't like it anymore. And then I really liked the vanilla. And here's why I like the vanilla. So the vanilla, I used to get, remember when you go to Friendly's and you could get a pump or two of the vanilla syrup in a Coke, and you'd stir it up, and it was fucking delicious. I was hoping that that's what it would taste like. It didn't taste like that.
No, it doesn't.
But I tried to convince myself that it was good. And then they were like, oh, well, we're going to do cherry vanilla. I'm like, well, score, let's go.
Sign me up, yeah.
Yeah. And I didn't really like that. So, like, every once in a while, I can go for a cherry Coke. Every once in a while, I can go for a vanilla. But but I can't get like a 6-pack or a 12-pack of them. I can only get normal Coke. The only thing that I consistently like to drink with Coke is Jack.
Yeah. I mean, and here's the thing too, and I know you've tried this too. It's like you can mix that with a root beer. You can mix it with different flavor of Coke, whether it's vanilla or a cherry Coke or whatever, but nothing's like just mixing it with Coke. It just has a perfect blend. And I don't know if it's because it just offsets the whiskey or whatever it is, but when you add any kind of flavor to it, it's okay, but it's not the same.
No, and honestly, my favorite thing to mix Jack with is ginger ale.
Oh yeah, yeah, and that's gosh, that's almost like our generation's Jack and Coke,
right?
Jack and ginger seems to be a big one. So
yeah,
and I don't know. No, that's a cool question. We're gonna have to subject other people to these because this is awesome.
yeah, we might have to try and do like a survey and see what people say on this.
Yeah, this is cool.
All right, cast or recast a movie with the cast of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Ooh,
and we just did this.
We did. Yeah, we talked about it. So, any particular movie?
Any movie you want.
Okay,
but you have to have Charlie, Dee, Mac, Dennis, and Frank represented.
Yeah, right. So you got to have a movie that's more than
like an
obviously
all cast.
Right. And that's tough because we talked about it in the terms of Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Actually, let's do that first. Let's run through our Fantastic Four because you had a fabulous lineup here. So we have to go first with that, and then we'll brainstorm about some other ones.
All right. So Frank is the Thing.
It just works.
It does. it works. No CGI. Just
exactly.
Paint him.
Just paint him.
Poor Danny DeVito. Every time I want to cast him in something, I don't want him to be I don't want him to be a normal human, and he's just getting painted. Like when he was in the Super Mario Brothers movie, he was Yoshi, but he was just painted green. And so now for the Fantastic Four movie, he's painted orange with the little rock lines drawn on him, and that's just.
Oh, is that what you want? Okay, I was gonna say, I was like, can we just throw some pebbles at him, glue, put some glue on him, and
glue rocks to him?
Exactly. Yeah, I mean,
but I'd rather paint him. I want him painted,
and just kind of line him out,
all sticking out, all crazy, So then I'm gonna do. See, and this is where it gets weird. Because in order for my version to work, you have to make Dennis Reed and you have to make Dee Sue. And they're brother and sister on the show, obviously, and they're married in the Fantastic Four. So
it's a movie though.
Maybe the McCoyles can play their kids, and
that works.
That'll make sense for the inbreds.
It'll work.
So all right, so we got them. We have Mac, who has recently come out on the show as gay, as the Human Torch.
It just works out so well.
Works out. And then Charlie gets to be Mr. Impossible because he's the wild card. And again, he doesn't get CGI'd. He just gets painted green.
Yeah. I mean, you could make this movie with a minimal budget.
Yeah.
A little bit of paint.
Yeah. A little bit of paint, a little tiny bit of budget, whatever it costs. Well, I mean, they're not tiny bit of budget because they've got some. Yeah, they can afford some stuff now. But yeah, they could do this themselves. All right. So we got that.
I was trying to think of movies and trying to think. Okay, we're in the holiday season, and I realized there's more. But I was like, let's do Home Alone. But I don't know. I don't know where that would really go.
Yes.
But all I can see is Frank is Joe Pesci's character.
Yes.
That's got to be. That's got to be it. And Frank and Charlie have got to be the bandits.
Yes. So right? Frank. Well. Yes, Frank and Charlie the bandits.
They got to be.
But see, I'm so tempted to make Charlie Kevin.
True.
Because he's got that. Because think about it, when he draws up the map and it's all crayon and it's all written all fucked up.
That's a good point. Yeah. Ooh, that's so tough. That's so tough.
But then Mac, with his security and his karate and shit.
Yeah, I think it'd be Mac. I think it works.
Pat down.
Yeah, I'm good with that. If it's got to be because the other thing that the letter to Chase Utley, because it's so simple.
Yeah.
So it'll be a real home run.
So, all right. So then we'll do. All right. So Charlie and Frank are the wet bandits.
Yeah.
And then
we'll say Mac is Kevin.
Mac is Kevin. So Dennis and D are Kevin's
Kevin's parents. Yeah, it's the only thing that works. I mean, the only other thing is D could be John Candy.
Yeah, D's John Candy, and Dennis is Buzz.
Yeah. That's what I was trying to think of. I was like, I don't want to take the easy way out. We gotta.
Or no, wait. D could be. What was Kieran Culkin's?
Was that Fuller?
Fuller.
Kid that wets the bed. It just works out so well.
Yeah. So, all right. Okay. So that's good. That's good. We get to a little bit of an easier one here. Do you have a favorite dinosaur? If so, which one is it?
Oh, it's fun. It's a great question because this has changed over the years. I used to love like the big ones, like the Diplodocus or the one is the Brontosaurus. They say wasn't a real dinosaur. Is that the one?
Brontosaurus wasn't a real dinosaur. It was a Patasaurus with a
Patasaurus.
Yeah,
some wrong bone or some crap that they said.
Yeah,
but I always like those big ones. So they
cool. Put the tail on the head, or they put the head on the tail.
That's right.
Yeah,
it was. But I always liked those big ones when I was a kid, and so I have a hard time like not defaulting to that. But I enjoy probably the Triceratops now, and only because if you go to the zoo, like, and you look at like hippos or rhinos, it's like you can kind of almost like they look like that, especially the rhinos, obviously, because it had the horn on its head, I don't know. It just, because, and I would imagine that they're of somewhat similar size. I mean, or maybe, I don't know. I could be wrong. I don't know.
That makes sense. See, I used to go with like Tyrannosaurus and stuff like that. Or Ankylosaurus was my all-time favorite when I was.
Oh, yeah. The one with all the spines on it.
Like a giant turtle.
Yeah.
On its tail. And he's still really cool. But for some reason, I find myself leaning more towards Stegosaurus. But I go back and forth between Ankylosaurus and Stegosaurus because they're both just really cool and they both have weaponized tails. So
yeah, which is pretty awesome. Plus, Stegosaurus got a bunch of dinner plates on its back. So
exactly.
Just pop one off and
Teenage Mutant Ninja Triceratops. Or damn it!
You tried. Yeah, all right.
I tried. All right. You can eliminate one state from the union, but not for political reasons.
Okay.
What state are you eliminating and why? So ignore like who runs the state, what kind of laws they have. I'm talking just like qualities about the state that you're like, you know what, fuck you.
Okay, so can it be a state that I've never been to?
Yeah.
Okay, North Dakota.
All right. Well, why North Dakota?
You give me one reason why it should exist.
I'm trying to remember a good reason. Let's see. What is in North Dakota?
The only thing I ever knew that even came from North Dakota was Matt Hill. So,
Jesus. So, Minot Air Force Base is in North Dakota. This is from the North Dakota Board of Tourism. 30 must-see places in North Dakota. North Dakota has uncrowded, wide-open spaces. Yeah, no shit. Because no one wants to live there.
There's just no, like, okay, because, like, if you look at it, like South Dakota at least has Mount Rushmore, national treasure, something you can go visit, in the Badlands, and you've got some other things, and even other states. Like, I love, like, everything about going to New England and those different states, and I've done plenty of time down south, obviously, and really the only other state that even comes to mind. And I hate to say this, but only because like my dealings with it are typically just driving through it, is Delaware. So
Yeah, dude, but
but
Delaware
but
has
but they have
tax-free
sail
shopping.
exactly. Yeah, that's kind of what I was like. I can't say it then. Plus they have beach.
Yeah,
So I can't say that for me.
right.
But North Dakota has no beach.
Yeah, North Dakota. The only good thing about North Dakota is you have to go through it to get to Winnipeg.
Oh, okay, all right, but that's Canada.
Yeah, I like Canada. So no, man, there's I mean I see no flaw in your logic. Um I was gonna say Texas because of the Dallas Cowboys and
No,
Astros.
that's a good one. That's a good one. Damn it, I wasn't thinking sports. Crap.
Yeah. No, see, well,
Ugh.
you know what's on my mind: sports
I know, but
and
man,
video games and that the fact that I'm never getting laid ever again.
damn it, the Dallas Cowboys. I didn't think of that.
Yeah,
All
yeah. So I'm going Texas. Plus, it's hot
right.
as balls there, dude.
Yeah,
Like,
and I know you're not a fan of that.
yeah, like it's just not. It's not. It's
No,
not my.
and here's the and so at least where you're at, you could like, and I know you're not a big on it, but it's like you could at least run over to the beach and like kind of jump in the water and pretend you
Yeah,
cool off.
but there's
Texas,
parts.
you can sort of do that, but it's like
There's
not like
parts of
Florida.
Texas where it's just like,
Oh, it's just hot
yeah, it's
and
like
nasty.
It's like really Southern Dakota.
Yeah. South Dakota.
All right, so let's see. So let's do this one. All right, you now own a theme park company. So Disney, Universal, Six Flags, whatever. And you're in charge, you've put yourself in charge of their theme park division. What are you dedicating a park to next?
Oh, like a theme?
Yeah, like a theme park. So like
Oh,
you
okay.
can base it whatever you want.
So I can't just like say, I want to rebuild Action Park.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, you know,
No, I don't
class
I won't
action
say
lawsuits are a theme.
yeah, no, I won't do that one. Let's see. Ooh, so like Simpsons have been done, Harry Potter, Star Wars, they've all been done. Hmm, man. Uh, well, I don't want to cop out because I'd go down the sports road and be like, I'm on a Philadelphia sports theme one. Um, uh, let's braid the beard of Brandon Marsh. Um, just really trying to think. Universal's done a lot with different movies over the years. That's a hard question.
Because my initial thought was, oh, well, I'm gonna make a boardwalk. I mean, like the Ocean City Boardwalk
Mhm.
and Wildwood Boardwalk, like an entire theme park just based off of that. But essentially, that's what Disney's California Adventure is.
Right,
That's how
right.
you know, it's kind of how they're that.
Yeah, because they have
Anyway,
like with like I think they kind of what they stylized off that and like the with the Santa Monica
and yeah,
Piers.
Coney
Yeah,
Island, and
yeah, no, yeah, they kind of stole from a lot of different.
yeah,
Hang on, man, that's I like that. That's good. I guess that's kind of why I thought Action Park at first because it was like, maybe not for the maiming of people, but just that like woodsy, like old school, maybe some harder rides that might be questionable. Obviously, not like anything that's going to kill anybody, or maybe
yeah, well, yeah.
not my deal.
All right, so I have two ideas for this one.
All right,
Number one, Jackass.
wouldn't that be like Action Park?
Yeah, yeah. Essentially, Action Park,
I mean,
but you got to sign a waiver.
I was gonna say, in Johnny Knoxville's in that movie.
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
But think about it. Like you could have the giant shopping cart and shit, and you could
Yeah.
have like, because remember back in the day, and I don't know if they're still like this because I don't go to water parks anymore because I'm fat. But like back in the day, the water parks used to have the rolling logs, and you would duel against somebody on it. Like you would get on it. And
Oh
you
yeah, yeah,
would
yeah,
roll the
yeah,
log
yeah.
and stuff. And they used to have the things where you would like, not with like, with like pugil sticks kind of, where you would try and knock them into the water and shit like that. Like, do they still have that stuff?
I don't think so. I don't think they do. I have been to one for a long time, and the ones I've been to don't have anything like that. Like the biggest attractions, typically like the lazy river.
Yeah. See,
So
I used to go to. There was this one in Virginia Beach that we used to go to when we go visit my aunt and uncle, and they had. I remember the log roll thing. They had the lily pad things like that you see on.
Now those are still around.
Okay, those are still where you
Yeah.
got to run across them and stuff.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, and they had all kinds of stuff like that though that you could, you could.
Like the pugil stick thing, like that's almost like American Gladiator type stuff.
Yeah. So like, all right. So what? All right. What about an American Gladiator themed?
I could be down for that.
Yeah.
But I would only want to be the person like that was behind like the cannon where I could shoot people.
Yeah, the tennis ball machine.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Like
So
now, if it's a water park though, or like if I stay that way, like it could just be a giant water cannon and like hit people with like a burst of water, like
fire hose.
Yeah. I mean, not constant because that'd just be mean. Yeah, little bursts.
Yeah, little bursts of fire hose.
We don't want to be mean here.
Yeah, I'm not trying to like drill through somebody's torso.
Now, I will say this: kids have played not recently, but quite a bit of Planet Coaster. And what I was unaware of in that game is that you can get all these like theme packs and stuff. And I haven't bought any just because like I just don't want to. We've talked about that in our video game mind before. It's like, it's like, oh, I'm going to buy all these the microtransactions.
Yeah.
But they have a Ghostbusters themed addition to that, and I was like, that'd be a cool like theme park.
So that leads into actually my second pick for this is a horror themed 24 like an all year round horror themed park.
Dude, and that would work.
And you could incorporate Ghostbusters in it. Like I realize that Universal has Ghostbusters stuff,
right.
But you could actually do like Ghostbusters stuff like legit there, and then do
and that would work well all year because you do have things like Nightmare Before Christmas,
right,
which works super well for basically the entire months of October, November, and December.
Right.
Just I don't know, that would be perfect. I don't know why that hasn't been done.
It's a good question.
I know Disney has like the year-round haunted rides,
right?
And I think you and I are full well know, like growing up where we did, there was haunted houses that were year-round at the shore, but as a full-blown theme park though,
yeah,
I like it.
All right.
except the escape rooms would have to be like Saw.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm good with that.
People be sawing feet off and stuff.
So, wait, what did you say?
I said people be having to saw their own feet off and stuff.
Oh, I thought you were talking about having to beat off. I was like,
No.
What kind of theme park is this, Tom? That's different. That's the theme park that Richie wants to make.
Exactly. Yeah, that'll be his answer.
Yeah, and it'll be the feet off park. All right. So, what about this one? Pick a movie. One cast member gets to stay. The rest are replaced with Muppets with no explanation.
Ooh. What
movie and what actor?
Okay. Fight Club. And the only one who gets to stay is Edward Norton.
That would be so good. That would be so good.
And I could just see Beaker playing Tyler Durden.
Let's see. So would Dr. Bunsen Honeydew be Bob?
Yes. That worked out so well. See?
All right. I'm trying to think of who would I use for that?
You know what's sad about that? That came to me so quickly.
Yes, yeah. I came up with these, and some of them I have answers for, some of them I don't. And I'm trying to think of a really good one. Like, all right, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, and everybody except for Robert Downey Jr.'s character. Or wait, everybody but Robert Downey Jr.'s character, or should it be everybody but what's her name?
Yeah, what's
Bridget
her name?
Bridget Moynihan?
I'm looking in because I'm not 100% certain. No, Michelle Monaghan?
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
all right, we'll go. No, she can be a Muppet too. It's Robert Downey Jr. Have you seen that
You know,
movie?
God, that came out what, like 15 years ago? I probably saw it like not too long after it came out, like on DVD or something. But like a one shot deal
Yeah, that's one
years
of my
ago.
favorite Christmas movies.
Oh, no kidding.
Well,
Yeah, I
it
might have.
takes place around Christmas. It's
Yeah,
not.
well, it's that. You know what? Die Hard's a Christmas movie, so it's
Yeah,
all good.
yeah,
No, I'll have to give it a shot now again because I there's it's funny. There's been several times I'll hear that. It's like, oh, yeah, I know I saw it. I know I saw it, and I'll watch it. Like, yeah, I did watch it, but typically probably wasn't completely sober.
yeah. Well, I
So,
mean, yeah, it's overrated.
especially back then.
Yeah, yeah. All right. What band do you think could switch genres and not completely suck? And,
Hmm.
like, what? Who's the band and what genre would they go to?
I'm gonna go with existent bands because you know, I don't go down that road of bands that are no longer around. Foo Fighters. I think that they could go pretty easily to because their acoustic stuff's so good that I think they could easily transition to like almost a country level, and still be known as a good act. Um, just because I think they're that talented all the way around. I think that's one that sticks with me. Um, Obviously, the first thought in my head is Beastie Boys, but not around anymore. So,
Yeah, yeah.
and that's kind of a cheap answer anyway, because that's what they did anyway. So,
Yeah.
uh, trying to think of anyone else that I would think. I like that question. I really do. Um, hmm. I don't know. Foo Fighters really sticks with me though on that one.
That's a good
I
one.
don't know.
I could see that. I could see that.
Not that they would, but,
Right.
but you know what though? That's kind of a cheap answer too, though, because they did it with the whole disco crap.
Well, yeah. I mean, but
I
they're
mean, it
not
was a
going.
good, right? Not
They
fully
didn't go
going that.
country,
No,
but
no,
they
no,
have. I
no.
mean, they've put out metal albums under Dream Widow,
Right.
and
Maybe that's why they came to
they
my
did the
mind.
disco. So
Yeah, that might be why. I went more with like thinking of all their acoustic work
yeah, they have
and
that
thinking
Skin and
that
Bones
way.
album. That's a live acoustic album.
Right, right. And that's kind of what, you know, I guess Incubus would be another one, but again, they kind of did the same thing.
Right.
Incubus could be the full metal or they could be an easy listening acoustic act to me. I mean, which they are. I know that whatever. It's just that's a tough one. I don't know, but that's what I say Foo Fighters on that one.
I'm gonna go Tenacious D.
Oh well, hell yeah, that's a good one.
I think
Hell
Tenacious
yeah.
D could do jazz.
Yes, yes,
Think about it. Think about Jack Black doing all the scatting that he
yeah,
does.
yeah. I could see
They could
that.
do jazz.
I could see that. I like
So
that one. Actually, we're just talking about Jack Black the other day, and um, Danielle and I were talking about him. His mom was right.
I feel like I did know this at one point, and I don't now.
Yeah, so she looked it up. It was Judith Love Cohen, who's basically a American uh, aerospace engineer who was super famous. I don't know if you are privy to some of her work at all.
Did I work on any of her work?
No, no, no. Or if you're privy to some of her work, like what she did. She's the one that's
No.
credit. She's the one that's credited with helping to save the Apollo 13.
Oh no shit.
Yeah, yeah, isn't that cool?
That's insane.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Pretty neat, isn't it?
That's dude, yeah, that's fucking crazy. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Huh.
So that dude, it's funny, as goofy as the roles he plays and with the stuff he's done musically, chances are he's a genius.
Oh, dude, yeah, I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that
Yeah.
for a second.
Yeah.
I don't doubt that for a second. So, all right. So we're going to keep on the theme of genres here and changing.
Okay.
What game would you like to see converted from one genre to another? And what brings this up for me is I saw a video of the original Legend of Zelda map
Mhm.
converted, like basically mapped over Doom.
Oh,
So
okay. Okay.
first person shooter, kind of, but like you could see the shield and the sword, and it
Okay.
was still you still walk into the, everything is still the same, but it's from a first person perspective instead of the isometric overhead.
Right, right. So it's like basically like Doom skinning the Link and everything else.
Right.
Okay. It's funny because to me that almost would work with that
Yeah.
game pretty well too. At least the original. I don't
Right.
know. Zelda 2 was like a scroller, so I
Yeah.
don't think it works so well with that. I mean, I guess you could. I
I would.
mean,
I
not
mean,
as
all
not
right.
as good as the first one.
No.
Um, hell, I could even see it with the SNES on
Yeah.
Link to the Past. Um, anyway, all right. Sorry, but now my mind's wandering on that one.
No, you're good.
No, now I'm trying to think. It's funny you said that because I was like, yeah, I would love to see Mario in the GTA world.
Grand Theft Auto Mushroom Kingdom.
Exactly, Grand Theft Kart.
Yeah. Grand Theft Mario Kart.
No, I'm trying to think what would work like that. Um, Gosh, it's tough. Okay, I know this is going to sound funny because I don't know how the series ended up going, but I was a big fan of Heroes of Might and Magic, particularly Heroes of Might and Magic 2. But I also loved 3. It just was 2 had a simplicity yet complexity to it that just worked. Like a really, really easy game, but there are so many different things going on that if you weren't paying attention, you could build yourself up only to get ambushed and lose it within 5 turns. Like I just loved it. So I would love if I pretended that no game was really made beyond Heroes 3 or even 4, not really knowing because I stopped paying attention to it, and falling that into like a Skyrim environment for me because I love some of the characters in that game. Like my favorite, and it's all it is like a little picture of like a hero. That's all it is. But my favorite character is Sandro the Necromancer, and I always wanted to just wander around like a Skyrim type or maybe even Diablo as like Sandro and like collect all these these hordes of, because like to me that game Heroes lended itself to, it's turn based. It lended itself so perfectly to either, like I said, a Diablo or whatever, those types of loot based, or even I would love to see it like the Skyrim, open world type, where in Diablo it's like, yeah, you can be a necromancer and you can have like, I have an army of skeletons, but it's really not that many. In Heroes, I could have an army of 31,000 skeletons, but it's just a number. You don't really see them. So I would just love to see that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I would love to see it in the Skyrim world too, because it's like, yeah, I have an army of 31,000 skeletons. Let's see what that looks like. You know what I mean?
All right. All right.
And I think it would be cool.
Yeah, that sounds really awesome. Like I'm on board with that 100%.
So that was my nerd out moment.
All right. So I had one and then I started thinking about it and I realized that it just wouldn't work. So I'm going to go with, let's see. Trying to think of what games are on my shelf right now. So I'm going to say, damn, I can't think of a good one cuz what I was going to say is Blood Bowl, but on the Madden engine,
Mm-hmm.
where like it's just you call play and you do it, but that's not Blood Bowl.
Right,
You
right.
know, the reason that Blood Bowl is the way it is is because there's the tabletop rules involved. Otherwise, it's just Mutant League football. So, I'm gonna say, oh, I would like to see a Gears of War game in the in the same vein as Super Paper Mario.
That would be good.
So like super cutesy graphics and shit too. And then and then you get it's a 2D side scroller, and then there's little things you get, and then you can like make him 3D,
everything's flat and
yeah, like that's what I want to see. And yeah.
no, I like it. I like it. Actually, I would love to see that with a lot of other games.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Like fucked up games that it's like Splatterhouse.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
that one. Give me do that one, or like a House of the Dead.
Yeah.
You know, I know it doesn't really work so much, but it would be kind of funny.
Mm.
Actually, you know what would work really well for that one? I would like let's give me a Manhunt paper RPG.
Yes. Yes. Manhunt. Super Paper Manhunt.
Manhunt RPG.
That would be fucking great.
Yeah, that genre works perfectly for like a really bunch of messed up games,
Right?
like a Postal.
Super Hentai Brothers.
See,
Super Hentai Brothers.
I think there's a market for that.
With it.
Yeah, see, there's a market for that.
Richie would do. Let's see. That's what we should have been doing the whole time. We should have been answering for Richie and seeing what he.
Oh yeah, what he actually answers?
Yeah.
Oh man.
So I'm gonna say Richie would want VR and hentai, which I'm sure there. No, so we can't do that because I'm sure there is.
I was gonna say it already probably exists. Yeah.
So let's do. No, we're gonna do Super Paper Hentai.
Yeah,
for Richie.
Yeah, or I have a feeling he's going to say some obscure Atari game.
Yeah,
and in a paper, not a paper genre, but I have a feeling
like adventure, but like fleshed out. Like
yeah.
All right. Yep. So this is the final question I have.
All right.
And then we'll see where this one goes. So this one after all the other stuff. The other stuff is all I actually went from the bottom, like the last one I came up with, and read backwards through them. This was the first question I came up with, and maybe this one would have been better to start with because it's kind of anticlimactic at this point. But what feature or features from a previous generation of games console do you miss and wish you could implement now?
Ooh. Okay. I actually do have an answer for this one, kind of right off the top of my head. So you remember remember, like, it's so long ago, Microsoft with the Kinect, and because there was really a lot of cool applications for that I saw that weren't just for games. And I thought this is where it's going to go. It's a lot of like in-home motion capturing. You could do a lot of things kind of like Nintendo did with the Wii and then subsequently the Switch. Without the motion capturing part, they were just using the controllers. But this was using a camera for it. And Sony kind of picked up on it too. And there was a lot of cool things going on with it. But then the technology is still there, but it just kind of went away. I mean,
right.
You had you kind of had it like this really cool. Now, granted, I don't know where it would have gone. To me, I know a lot of people still, when I've talked about this to no end with they like tactile stuff, they like holding the controller, like doing whatever. But I really think that you could have made something more out of what they had. Because to me, it's still super interesting, super neat technology that just, I don't know, they basically took motion capturing and brought it into your house. And then it just goes away.
Right.
It's there and to some degree, and especially if you fire up your old system, it's still there. But I would love to see how that would have turned out. Like, especially now. Like, again, I don't know where it would have gone, but I think that's super cool technology. That's still, especially now with like, let's fast forward 10 years and look at some of the cameras that have, developed since then. I know some of the cameras that they're putting out on phones now is just crazy, to think. And so it's like what they could have done with a little add-on for a system, man, that would have been super cool. And I think about like the some of the stuff that I miss. Like, do you remember playing like wrestling or I know MLB The Show still has it. It's like where you can like capture your face and make yourself a character and stuff.
Yeah.
They still have it too, but it's through an app and it's all this stuff. It's like that stuff used to be on the system. You didn't have to have a smartphone to do it or whatever. It's like I kind of wish that stuff was still there because I don't feel like having to register for this additional app.
Right.
I just want it on the system. So I think they could have done a lot more with the camera tech. So I don't know.
No, I get that 100%.
So what do you got, man?
So I'm going to cheat as usual. So I'm going to take the Wii and the Wii U because most people didn't know the difference between the two of them anyway. So Miiverse from the Wii U, because I thought that was a fantastic like bulletin board system, like a bulletin board based on your system. And you could find communities right there and send messages back and forth and draw pictures. The pictures were the best. I loved seeing people's pictures because either they were amazingly well done or they were so terrible that it was hilarious.
Right.
And then the channels on the Wii. So remember when the Wii launched and everything, they had the different channels, and there was the weather channel and there was the voting channel and all that stuff. Like, I miss that. I think that stuff was so cool, and they just completely killed it all. And I would love to see it back, but
it's funny. I hadn't thought about that in a long time. Yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah, because like last night I was playing the Wii, and I'm like, I wonder what the weather's going to be like. And I had gone back to the home stream, I'm like, I wonder if the weather channel still works.
Right.
It doesn't, obviously, but it would be cool to be able to just go, because we used to just cruise around on the map and see what temperature, where, and stuff like that. Like, there was so much cool stuff that you could do with it. It's still an untapped thing. Like, it would be really neat.
That was bad. The one thing I think I've got a good one that you would appreciate, and I think it'd be good to close it up. That's not been done. It's to the same level was the Sports Center features of ESPN NFL 2K5.
Yeah.
This day that has not been done like that in any game.
Yeah.
But it needs to be Chris Berman.
True. Yeah, it needs to be Boomer. It needs to be Boomer. If it's not Boomer, then I don't want any parts of it. It can be Boomer and Tom Jackson, but if it's not them, I'm out.